Hi everyone, it's Stacia from Cutesy Clickables by Collaboration Cuties, and I'm so excited to share with you how to set up your student Microsoft PowerPoint or Word files. This is a quick and easy way if you have a technology project, a digital file that you want your students to work in, a way for you to set it up so that when they go to the computer, they know exactly where to click and which file to open. You might already have a folder that the students know to go to on the computers. It might be something that the school has set up on some type of student drive, or you may just have them use a folder that's on the desktop. So for this example, I'm going to show you how to use a folder that's on the desktop, but you could do this in any folder that you're using for your students. So I'm going to go to my desktop, and I've already downloaded the file that I'm using. It's from Teachers Pay Teachers, and I just put it right here on my desktop. In this example, it's a Native Americans PowerPoint show. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to New and Folder because I'm creating a folder on the desktop for my students to use. I'm going to name it Native Americans Activity. And I'm going to click off of it. Now I have my folder. I'm going to take this file that I downloaded and I can drag it into the folder, or I can right click and say cut and then double click on my folder. It'll open up and I can right click in here and say paste. And now I have my file in my folder that I want to use. Again, you could use any folder on your computer. You just want to go ahead and move whatever the file is that you're going to have your students work on into that folder. So if my students came over and they opened this folder, right now all they would see is one copy of the activity. If all of the students used this one copy and kept saving, then they would be saving over each other's work. And that's been a big problem that I've had in my classroom. So what I decided to do is create copies, digital copies of the original file so that each student had their own to work in. So to do this, it's really easy. You just click the file and you go up here to Copy and then click off of it and say Paste. And now I have two of the file. So two students could come work on this. Let's say that I'm working with 4 students. I'm just going to pretend. A lot of times I had 25 to 30 students, but we'll just pretend I'm going to have 4 students. So I'm going to paste in one, and I could also right click and paste another one. So now I have 4 copies of the activity, but I want to rename them so that when my students come over, they know exactly which activity they should be working in. It's really simple. Just go ahead and click on one of them on the name. Go up to this icon that says Rename, and then type in the new name. Maybe you want to just call it NA for Native Americans, and then the student's name, John. If I click somewhere else in the folder, now I have my file renamed to NA John. So when John comes over, he knows that he's going to use that file. I can rename my next one. I can click it and then go to Rename. I could also just click it one more time and it highlights it for me. Maybe my students all have numbers in my classroom. I could instead just give it a student number. I could just put 1. Click off. And now when student number 1 comes over, they know that they go to file 1. That's a really quick way to do it, especially if you have a lot of students. I'm going to rename the third one. I'm going to click Rename. This time I'm going to say Native Americans. I'm going to put a 2 for student 2. So it's really up to you however you want to rename it. Whatever's going to be easiest for you, quickest for you, easiest for your students. I'm going to rename the last one, and I'm just going to call this one Mary. So if we pretend that John is coming over to work on his project, he would go ahead and he would double click on NA John for Native Americans John. Once he double clicks, the file will open for him and he can go ahead and begin working. When he's all finished, all he has to do is click the save icon or go to File Save, and then his work is all saved in that file. This eliminates the possibility that the students are going to save over each other's work, and it makes it really easy for the students to know exactly where to go when they come to the computer. So I hope that this was helpful for you and your students, and I hope you guys have fun working on whatever technology projects you do this year. Thanks so much for watching.